Do you feel overwhelmed by all the pain and the hurt that's circulating in this beautiful and broken world? Like, on any given day, there could be 100 million things to worry about, to hold, to try and make space for. And chances are, if you try to give energy to all 100 million of them, you might wind up at the end of the day feeling empty and tired and not ready to take a step into the next day. It's overwhelming. Well, a couple of years ago, I grew up outside of Charleston, South Carolina. And on one particular September evening, we were waiting for Hurricane Hugo to come knocking on our door. We had no idea how bad this storm was going to be. But meanwhile, on the front porch, we made a snack of our hurricane supplies. But then the storm picked up. And as evening gave way to night and night gave way to hell, hundreds of stately pine trees that stood for so long fell. Some in our yards, some across the street, and some on our houses. And the next morning, it was like the sky was laughing at us because it was so blue, and we could see so much more of it now that the trees had fallen. It's like every single one of those trees represented an issue, a problem, a worry, a hurt in this beautiful and broken world. And looking at all of it at one time was paralyzing. But a couple of hours later, we heard chainsaws. And I climbed over and underneath all the trees that stood between our house and our across the street neighbor, Mrs. Gines. And when I got there, I found Mrs. Gines kneeling in her garden. And I said, "Mrs. Gines, what are you doing?" And she said, "Girl, I'm doing the one thing I can do." The prophet, Mrs. Gines. God bless her soul. That bit of wisdom that she shared with me on the morning after the longest night I had ever experienced in my entire life gave me liberation and freedom. I'm doing the one thing I can. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, even powerless against the ways of this world and all the hurt and the pain, and if you are wondering, how can I love this world with all that I am and all that I have when it hurts so much? Do the one thing. Just do the one thing that you can. And together, if I do the one thing, and our neighbors do the one thing, together we can answer all of the problems with love and with hope and with grace. Just do the one thing and let the rest of it go. Will Will you pray with me? Pray for our doctors and our nurses who are overwhelmed. Will you pray with me for the teachers and administrators who are still trying to figure out how to do school? And for the parents and the children? Will you pray with me for this broken and beautiful world and the courage for each of us to do the one thing?